Hello and welcome to Changing Lives. Now, today we're talking about the impact of habits on our life. And Tanya, I've got to tell you, I came across this interesting app called Lazy Bones, which actually helps you track habits. And it's also one of the hottest apps right now in Africa on the App Store.
Amazing. And you know, the importance of tracking your habits to keep you going is on some other level, okay? Because if you don't track your habits and you're not aware of what you're doing on a daily basis, it's exactly the same as being unconscious or thoughtless.
So break this down for us. Why is it so important to track your habits and make sure that you can at least distinguish between your good and your bad habits?
Well, if you look at Anthony Robbins, or Tony Robbins as some people know him, a lot of people really admire him. And I would say, looking at what he does, 90% of his work is based on what you do habitually. What you do habitually is who you become. So if your habits are negative thoughts, you're going to have a negative outcome. If your habits are healthy eating, you're going to have a good, healthy body. If your habits are exercising, you're going to have a great looking body and it's going to be fit. And it knocks on to every capacity of your life. So if your habits are drinking water, meditating on a daily basis, what you do habitually is who you are.
Can your habits change?
They should. You know, so let's say, for example, I've decided that learning something new every day is important to me. So I've got a whole repertoire of habits I work through every day. So I start my day being grateful. I write in a gratitude journal. I definitely meditate every day because it increases my neocortex and enables conscious thought. There are a number of things. I exercise every day. I try and do my 10,000 steps every day. And, you know, we get to stages in life where maybe I'm incredibly busy and the 10,000 steps become difficult. I'll have to do some kind of exercise that's different to that. So maybe climbing all the stairs and parking as far away from the entrance as possible. So your habits will shift and change as you go, but this general premise that's enabling you should stay the same.
So we've been talking about becoming more conscious about things that are happening in your space. And I'm a bit intrigued because I'm sure for people watching at home, myself included, we start to take on the habits of those who are close to us. How do we become more conscious not to do that?
So the thing I've always said is the people you spend most of your time with and the people in particular you take your advice from, you will end up with their life. So the way I've spoken about the pinball machine, so we take the cranium is this beautiful pinball machine and you're sending that thought up and it's ding, 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 ding with inside the skull. Now what's happening there is you cannot bounce outside of it. You've got to have questions inside the brain. And you're going to give yourself those answers. So you ask yourself a question, you'll give yourself an answer, but it's only framed within this tiny little space. Now, when you open up and you ask questions outside of that, you can start framing different answers and you can actually change your neural networks, like plasticine. Imagine a plasticine brain. And we're molding it and we're changing it and we're trying to make it think differently and we're bringing the colors in and molding it together. If you're only talking to the one color, you're only going to get the one outcome. So if you're speaking to your auntie, your mom, your dad, or friend, you're going to get their way of living. So being aware of that, you need to try and get as many opinions as you can and then start trusting yourself.
Okay.
That the thoughts that you have are enabling you.
So it's so important to have a role model, I think, and look at stuff that they do, but really stuff that aligns towards your goal. Would you agree?
I totally agree. And that is why the critical path in the series, visualizing yourself in 5 years' time, all of those aspects formulate where we're going. So every single episode in our 66 episodes, and then we had obviously at the 67th, which was our introduction, we're leading you to this point where if you apply all of those dynamics in your life, even if it's just having an awareness of them, will bring you through and help you achieve your goals. So understanding where you're going, then you look at your role model and you understand what they're doing and you say to yourself, if I do what they're doing, will it take me closer to my goal or this particular habit that they have? And the answer is yes, do the habit.
Okay.
If the answer is no, don't do the habit, but you have to know where you're going first. And that is critical.
Which requires introspection because you need to figure out what habits you want to take on.
That's exactly right.
Tanya, thank you so much as always.
It's been amazing working with you.
Uma sabufa e 5